We're coming to 2 Samuel, and I'm reading verses 1 and 2. 2 Samuel, chapter 21. Looking at verses 1 and 2, then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year. And David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, it is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them, and Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and Judah. Those are the two verses we're looking at together. As we look at these verses, the verses reveal an aspect of God's compassion which is not well understood. Many people do not understand. Many people do not see through. Many people do not appreciate the compassion of the Lord in making some revelations to us. Most people do not know. In fact, sometimes people do not want to know the truth of divine revelation. Here, there was a famine. And as the famine was there, if it's in our personal life, in our family lives, all the people want, pray for me, pray for me, pray for me, so that this problem and this challenge will vanish. But you know, just praying and praying without knowing the cause of the problem, the reason for the problem, and without knowing the root of the problem, is like wanting medical treatment without medical examination. You get to the nurse, you get to the doctor, I'm sick. Okay, let me test you, let me know what is really happening. No, I just want prescription. I want treatment. It doesn't work that way. And that is the way some people treat prayer. They pray in the dark. They intercede in the dark. They counsel in the dark. They probe in the dark. And they try to get solution in the dark because they do not know exactly what the problem is. And you know, God did not volunteer to give the revelation until David went to the Lord. Look at this in verse 1. Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year. And tell me what follows. David inquired of the Lord. Stop there for a moment. What if David did not inquire of the Lord? After 3 years, it will continue. 4 years of famine. 7 years of famine. Many years of famine. If he had not asked, without this revelation, the famine will continue. The calamity will continue. The suffering will continue. The sickness will continue. The mysterious affliction. We don't understand this. We're the covenant people of God. How could this be happening? And we'll just be wondering. We'll just get confused. And we'll say, why is this happening in my life? Why is this happening in my family? We must ask the Lord. It's unfortunate they waited 3 years before they even went to ask the Lord. Look at chapter 8 of 2 Kings. 2 Kings chapter 8, I'm reading from verse 1. Famines are not limited to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever number of years. It depends on when you go to the Lord. There might be a challenge in your life right now, a challenge in your family right now, and then you have not even asked the Lord. You're just saying, I'm praying. You're praying, but what's the root of the problem? Let's look at chapter 8 and verse 1. Then spake Elisha unto the woman whose son he had raised, he had restored to life, saying, arise, and go thou and thine household, and sojourn wheresoever thou canst sojourn. For the Lord has called for a famine and it shall also come upon the land. How many years? 7 years. So you understand, if David had not gone to ask the Lord, that thing would have continued. And you're thinking about some challenges you might have in your family. You're thinking about some challenges somebody might have brought to you. And just pray for me. Just pray for me. What's the root of the problem? What's the cause of the problem? What's the situation? What brought this? And there is no evidence that they have the revelation as to what caused the problem. And the thing might not just be limited to 7 years. It might just go on and on. Look at chapter 74, Psalm 74. And I'm reading from verse 9. Psalm 74, and we're reading from verse 9. It says in verse 9, we see not our signs. What does that mean? We see not our miracles. We see not the manifestation of the power. We see not the wonders and the signs, and there is no more any prophet, neither is there any among us, or any that knoweth how long. You see that? It's been going on now for 3 years, and 4 years, and 5 years, and 7 years, and now we don't even know how long it's going to continue. You must ask, you must find out, what's the root of the problem? What's the cause of the problem? Psalm 89. I'm reading from verse 46. Psalm 89. And I'm reading here from verse 46. How long, Lord, wilt thou hide thyself forever? They had not been able to find out the revelation. And the reason why these things were happening to them at the time they wrote this psalm, and now they're saying, we're wondering how long this will continue. We're wondering how long the calamity will continue. We're wondering how long the suffering, the disaster will continue. And he said in that verse 46, how long, Lord, wilt thou hide thyself forever? Shall thy wrath burn like fire? Remember how short my time is. Look up here for a moment. You know what he's saying? He's saying, I have 70 years to live. I have 80 years to live. And this problem is consuming all my resources. 10 years have passed. When you take that away from 70 years or 80 years, what remains? God, how long will this continue? Remember how short my life is. And this is going on and on. And that's the problem we get to when there is a challenge, there's an affliction, there's a demonic attack, and then all those attacks going on, we don't know the root cause. And we do not know the solution. And then we're just praying and praying and praying. Why don't you find out? Why don't you stop that medication that doesn't have behind it a medical exam and say, I want to know the root of the problem, the cause of the problem. It is only there you'll be able to find the right solution. Well, you've got the point. The point is this. Whenever there's any challenge, whenever there's any problem, whenever there's any disaster, any calamity, any affliction, instead of just praying, brother pray for me, sister pray for me, pastor pray for me, so and so pray for me, let's know the root of the problem.